it surpassed all my expectations, if I'm honest. So I think if someone was to ask me, would I recommend the program? The answer is it depends. Um, it depends where you are with your business. If you were like me, where you sort of knew or thought you were doing what you were doing, but at the same time you knew it wasn't really hitting the targets and you weren't getting the satisfaction you want, then do this. Um, what it does, it brings a whole load of clarity around to not just what you do, but more importantly, why you do it, and really gets to the essence of who you are and your values and beliefs. If you're in a position where your gut tells you your business is okay, but it's not where you want it to be, and your message isn't clear, then and you're willing to commit the time and effort, then crack on and do this, because I tell you, it's going to take you on a journey um, that you won't expect. And I think in 28 days, the transformation and how I understand my business and the confidence it's given me to go forward is phenomenal. So my name's Tom Chambers, and I run Alive.Photos. I bring joy to families through celebrating the elders in their lives now and always. So before I came on this program, I classed myself as a photographer, and I was positioning myself as a photographer, which meant a million things. And even within the photography, I was doing headshots and what I call elderhood, but I could never truly explain what elderhood was. So it was almost like this schizophrenic part of the business when you're chatting to people about what you do and how you serve them. So over the past couple of years, I've been looking at different online programs and structures around that can help me try and figure out what is my business and how to be different and do that. So I've probably done about two or three different online things and signed up to mentoring groups, but it wasn't really giving me something different. It was end up just coming about, well, I'm just like other photographers and trying to position things like other photographers when I know that's not really at the core of my business. So for me, I knew I just needed to do something that was different, because there was a key ingredient missing. There was a couple of things that jumped out to me about why this program would work better than the others. The first is Giles. Having met Giles several times before and seen him present and talk around the work he does and about your brand, there was just something there. I knew, right, okay, this Giles knows what he's talking about here. He's talking in a language I go, okay, that makes sense. And it wasn't scary or frightening. So I think Giles's experience was definitely something that helped draw it to me. One of the other big things that stood out about doing this program was that I wasn't going to be doing it on my own. The fact that it was going to be a group was important. I think as working for yourself, it's really difficult when you're in your own little bubble and you're not getting feedback. The fact that I would be working with sort of six, seven other businesses and getting feedback from them on mine was probably one of the key things about why this program stood out and was different to the other things I did. So the three things that I enjoyed most about the program were the structure of it being part of a group and working as a group. So you weren't working on your own in isolation. Um, Having the weekly Zoom calls with everybody, and getting to know and understand a little bit of the businesses, that whole group and that network worked really, really well. The second thing that worked for me was the pace and structure of the program over the 28 days. It was just right. Um, I sort of knew I was committing myself to at least an hour a day. If I wanted to do more, I could. Um, and actually, when the program ended, I missed getting the morning emails to see. I used to quite enjoy getting up in the scene, 7 o'clock email and saying, right, what's today's task and action, and getting on it. So the structure across the 28 days, and the 28 days went by really fast. The third thing that really worked was getting the feedback from individuals that just suddenly give you the aha moments, the insights where you go, ah, right, okay. So that feedback process was invaluable across the 28 days and enabled me fundamentally to just change the way I speak and talk about my business. So I would say the three positive changes, the biggest ones anyway, is one, that I know how to describe what I do. The second thing, it has helped me really answer a lot of my origin story for this came from my own experience with my own parents. And I was struggling, how do you position what elderhood is? It had come from photographing your parents, especially just before, if they're terminally ill, before you lose them. But actually it's evolved into, it's just celebrating elders. So it really helped me just take that origin, which was part of my why and what was driving me, and turn it into, right, actually, how does that translate to others? So the clarity that's come from that has been huge. And I think the third part, it's solved for schizophrenia, where I was trying to run the headshots side and elderhood as sort of equals. In fact, I'd probably put more energy on the headshot thing. What I now realise that what really drives and motivates me is the elderhood. And I wouldn't have got that without going through the programme to really fully understand what was at the core of what I wanted to do and why. And if I think about those three things, and what do they mean? They actually mean that I can clearly communicate what I do and why to clients and potential clients. It's also given me a focus on looking at my business as a whole and my pricing and the value that I place on myself. As a business owner, sometimes we don't value what we do, and you can get caught in a competitive race to the bottom on pricing. And I think it's just given me a reassurance that I've known for 5 years as this has evolved, and it's taken 5 years to get here. I knew there was something there. I wasn't sure. It's just given me that reassurance that actually what I was doing was following my gut, was the right thing. And it's now just clarified what that is. So all those are going to make a huge difference to how I go forward with the business. I think the thing that surprised me most about the program was the insight and feedback that I was getting from people, and just how what they felt was maybe little throwaway comments actually were like gold dust. They just suddenly just, you would read a feedback and you'd go, oh God, I never thought of that. And then suddenly it just opened up. So I think that I was expecting to get feedback. What I didn't expect was to get gems in there, lots of them, that just enabled me to sort of clarify exactly what I was doing and reshape and refocus. So that was a nice surprise to get.